We live.
Yep.
Welcome to the first episode of the Blast Brain Cell podcast. I'm host Dusty Harry and my co-host.
Mason Diaz.
And I talk about a crazy week it's been in Congress
Yep.
in Washington D.C. Let's just get it started off.
So
this boys.
This week, a lot unfolded in Congress today, going with David Grush coming out about aliens and if they're real or not. So a lot happened. I can actually play some of the footage right here.
Transparent with the American people, and do you think we need to be more transparent with the American people? All of you, yeah.
I'll say yes to that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with at least the UAP Task Force 2019 Security Classification Guide. I think it's fair. I did actually help author that with the.
You got a bias that way then.
But I will say, I'll call it a lazy attitude about declassifying videos. I mean, I've seen some of the videos of the recent shoot down, and I saw no reason that couldn't have been released as long as they mask some data. The American people deserve to see that imagery in full motion video.
I would think, well, in my opinion, I will say things are overclassified. I know for a fact the video or the pictures that came out in the 2020 report that had the stuff off the East Coast, they were taken with an iPhone off the East Coast. A buddy of mine was one of the senior people there, and he said they were originally classified at TSSCI. And my question to him was, what's TSSCI about these? They're an iPhone literally off the vacapes. That's not TSSCI. So they're overclassified, and as soon as they do that, they go in a vault, and then you all have to look for them.
Yeah, so with the overclassification, that may be one way. Are there other ways that the DOD or intelligence agencies are keeping this information from the American people or even from Congress?
I think part of that has been not encouraging reporting. If the problem is not something that can be
said, there's been a lot of things that have been said in the public, Mr. Grush, and so I want to get down to, if we can, some specifics, right? So at one point you had said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured, and the activity. And
by UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
Okay,
yeah.
So there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed. And I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
Okay. One of my constituents actually sent this next question, and I figured I'd ask it since I had the same thought. You've said that the U.S. has intact spacecraft. You said that the government has alien bodies or alien species. Have you seen the spacecraft?
I have to be careful to describe what I've seen firsthand and not in this environment, but I could answer that question behind closed doors. Yeah.
And have you seen any of the bodies?
That's something I've not witnessed myself.
Okay, and so with that being said, and the other statement that has been made that was intriguing to me.
So what do you think about that? Like, there's some information he can't reveal in an environment, but he's pretty much saying he's seen that we have spacecraft.
I think that the shadow government is holding him hostage, and he obviously knows aliens are out there, but they're gonna murk his ass if he goes out and right out says aliens are here and they're either good boys or bad boys.
So a lot of people will attribute that shadow man government to, as what some would say, as the men in black. Do you think that's like a true thing? Like there's people out there?
100%. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some good people in Congress and in Washington, D.C. who want to tell the public, yeah, aliens do exist.
Yep.
But there are too many factors and the Men in Black are here. I wouldn't say they're here to protect us, but they don't want mass hysteria.
Yeah. But that also gets into something I saw last night about something called Project Bluebeam.
Blue Beam?
Yep, Blue Beam.
B-E-N?
Beam. B-E-A-M.
Oh, okay.
I saw this last night, but apparently it's a project to it stages a fake invasion in order to get the American people to, or the whole world really, to come together and unify under like a fake god or like a fake government to control everyone out of fear. Do you think that would be a real thing, or do you think that's just?
I think this is the beginning stepping stones of it. I think it's already happening.
Yeah.
Why would they come out all of a sudden and be like, "Ooh, aliens exist"? I mean,
like,
what are they planning? They already let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. What do you think the stuff that David Grush is telling is truthful, or do you think he's just kind of going for attention, honestly? Because this is not they say this is the first time this has happened, but at the same time,
It's obviously not the first time. As you probably know, I don't remember what year it was, but do you remember those triangles over Phoenix, Arizona? The Triangle of Lights?
I do. I remember that a little bit. I think we actually have a couple of videos ready to show of it, but
we'll get there soon. But David Grush, I think, is being 100% true. He's the whistleblower, obviously.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been on any of these projects, these secret projects that the government has.
That's true. He just inquired from colleagues about them.
Yeah, so he did his due diligence. He did the next best thing because he wasn't obviously a part of it.
Yep.
He hasn't seen it. He hasn't touched the UFO.
Yep.
So
we haven't gotten to the part yet, but they do talk about how they ask if it's a threat to national security, this UAP, and a threat to the public that they're not disclosing this information. Do you think that it is a threat, or do you think they're just kind of blowing it out of proportion?
It probably is a threat. I mean, aliens, when we see another person from another country, we're like, oh shit, this guy got a disease. Well, we don't know what kind of diseases or like bacteria or microorganisms aliens have. Honestly,
unpopular opinion, but I think the only real threat from these UAPs, these extraterrestrials, is us, because we don't even like seeing people. Sometimes people don't like seeing people from other countries. I don't think our world is gonna come open arms for all these extraterrestrials.
Maybe the weirdos, but I absolutely agree. I think once we see a little gray men, the grays, the blondes, the reptilians, if they're not already leagues above us in military and warfare, I think we're gonna be like, oh shit, alien, blah blah blah.
Honestly, I agree on that. Like, our world can't even get along with each other as it is. What happens when someone from another planet decides to come give us a visit, especially when they're already supposedly experimenting on us, cattle mutilations, and all that nonsense? But let's see what else David Grush has to say about these allegations here.
Because, and it's intriguing because my view has been that we are billions of light years away from any other system. And the concept that an alien species that's technologically advanced enough to travel billions of light years gets here and somehow is incompetent enough to not survive Earth or crashes is something that I find a little bit far-fetched. And with that being said, you have mentioned that there's interdimensional potential. Could you expound on that?
Yeah, to answer your first question, and I'm here as a fact witness and expert, but I will give you a theoretical framework, at least to work off, to kind of espouse crashes, regardless of your level of sentience, right? Planes crash, cars crash, n number of sorties, however high, a small percentage are going to end in mission failure, if you will, as we say in the Air Force. And then in terms of multidimensionality, that kind of thing, the framework that I'm familiar with, for example, is something called the holographic principle. It derives itself from general relativity and quantum mechanics, and that is, if you want to imagine a 3D object such as yourself casting a shadow onto a 2D surface.
Identified that they are being produced by domestic, military and contractors. Is there any evidence that that's what's being recovered?
Not to my knowledge, plus the recoveries predate a lot of our advanced programs that I previously am witting of. So,
would it be safe to say that there could be a scenario today where you have an aircraft that crashes because it's been involved in one program from one federal agency, and but the agency that retrieves it is not aware of that program, and to them it appears alien in origin?
I mean, that's a hypothetical situation. I'm not aware of any historical situation that would match that.
True. And initially, we were not afforded access to imaging.
So essentially what was going on right there is they were talking about getting these UIPs and crash aircraft and taking them and re-engineering them. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good betterment for society, or do you think that they're just doing it for military applications and warfare?
Obviously, it's military warfare. It's number one on everyone's list. Russia. I'm pretty sure America's the only one doing it right now. We're re-engineering all this shit. Like,
I don't know about that, because there was this case in Brazil called Virginia, and they found a crashed alien spacecraft, and apparently one of the soldiers grabbed the deceased extraterrestrial to bring it to a hospital, and he died because he got infection from something on its skin. So I don't think the U.S. is the only country doing that, because if this Brazil thing is true, we're not the only ones doing it.
with that being said, what the hell's a human doctor gonna do with a fucking alien?
You know, I honestly couldn't tell you. That is a pretty good question.
But to answer your first question, it probably would. It already has a benefited society, like a microwave. We probably got the microwave from aliens.
You know, it's a lot of things we probably got from aliens. The pyramids, even. They say the pyramids are from aliens.
It's true.
But do you think some of these sightings, these UAPs, these ET sightings, do you think some of them could be the re-engineered aircraft that supposedly our government has been hiding from us?
Oh, absolutely. There's always human error, and when we build something new, especially using alien tech, re-engineered style, we're gonna mess up and we're gonna crash. Like we're gonna go, oh shit.
I actually have some footage of supposed alien crashes here. Let me just pull it up. It's on TikTok. It's a news clip I saw right here. Oh, it's not that one. Let's see if I can find it here. Right here. I got it. I'll show it to you guys as well. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm just gonna switch it up here.
On April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums.
So I really want to hit on that last part. When they tried to interview the family, they would not respond. And I know with many of these people who've come out about seeing stuff and having aliens in their backyard, a lot of the time when they try to get interviewed, they don't respond or they just disappear. Do you think that's the government covering it up, this supposed Men in Black theory, that they're going out murking people because they're trying to come out about something? What do you think?
In this case, maybe. I honestly couldn't tell you. Maybe they're lying and they were just too embarrassed to go in the news and be like, yeah, there was fucking aliens in our backyard.
But at the same time, that what we saw in the first part of the object going through the sky, a lot of LA saw that, and it was on police body cam. I mean, there's the evidence right there. The phone calls right there.
Maybe it was a comet or a meteorite, but it was all sparkly and green. So maybe it was a cool alien ship. I guess we'll never know.
I want to get back to this supposed Project Bluebeam. I don't know. I just found it very interesting. Do you think that if this Project Bluebeam or this supposed Congress gets through and they reveal the truth, do you think that would change a lot of the worldviews, like on religion or all that?
Absolutely. I think a lot of us would feel pretty silly finding out that Jesus was an alien.
I don't know if Jesus was an alien, but
yeah, religion, I think a lot of people will go into a spiral and they'll be much more moldable because they're going to hit a low point. Just imagine believing your religion all this time and then boom, God was an alien. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be finding some way to be like, no, this isn't real. And that's when they bring in the fake Jesus.
So some of you might be like, what the hell? Why are you saying God is an alien? But predating us, even in the Egyptians, a lot of scriptures and carvings from back in the cavemen, you can see that there is pictures of ships in the sky. And with the Egyptians, they have elongated heads, man. They look like fucking the Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull guys.
Even in Native American culture, they have carvings and little drawings on deer skins of aliens, people from the sky, thunderbirds.
Yep. I mean, you would know. You'd be the expert on that.
That's a lie. But yeah, I saw a video one time on TikTok. I don't know if we'll ever find it again. But they found a mammoth tusk, and then carved on that was like a map of the whole world, predating cartography. How did they get a mammoth tusk with all this shit on there? Who made it?
Some people might ask, if all these ancient civilizations were able to see these aliens and ETs, why aren't we being able to see them? Why aren't they coming to talk to us? Do you think it's just the government's trying to hide it as much as possible?
To quote Steve Buscemi from Spy Kids, why does God stay in heaven? Is he because he's scared of what he's created? The human race has existed for like a blink of an eye in the expansive universe. So there's probably civilizations out in the cosmos that have existed billions and billions of years before us. So they came to us, and the humans, we're babies. We're infants in the cosmic scale of time and shit. So we went from cavemen, rocks and stones and fire, and then we found metals, and then we just started expanding. We went from a hunter-gatherer group to farming, cultivating, and all that in really a flash, like a blink of an eye. So we progressed too far.
So going off of that, do you think these alien cultures influenced how we are today? Do you think they helped us advance quicker than we were supposed to?
I think they had a big hand in that, and
because there's a lot today that still think the pyramids were built by aliens, and when you think about it, that's a pretty big feat, the pyramids. I saw a video the other day of how apparently they found a pyramid in Antarctica. I don't think it's true, but I don't know.
How long ago was the first computer built?
First computer? That was a long time ago. I don't even know the date for that, honestly.
I don't even know the year. But the first computer, the computer chip was massive, like the size of a semi-truck. A couple decades later, we got cell phones with the same computing power as it.
Look at this thing compared to a
microchips, all that. We've just advanced too quick.
And even David Grush, he is not the first one to come out about saying this. Remember that? I think it was back in 2014. The Tic Tac from those Air Force pilots, when they're flying around, they saw a Tic Tac shaped object that was going in odd directions. It would stop and suddenly go like fucking
it'd be at
light speed Millennium Falcon style.
Yeah.
I remember that a few years ago. Do you think that the Congress will be able to get the federal government to come out about this?
No.
No?
No. I think those pilots are probably jobless, homeless, or they got paid to be quiet.
What do you think about David Grush? He was in the Air Force. Do you
Mhm.
think there might be any repercussions, like he might get his benefits, his status, or any of that taken away?
I don't think they'll take it away. He's come out publicly, so it's gonna be pretty hard to take away something he's earned.
Yeah. So I actually have a video from a past president who's in the government talking about these UAPs. See if I can find it here. Let's see. It should be like right over here somewhere. This might take me a second to find it.
Oh, aliens.
Aliens. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's the aliens. All right.
The government.
It's the shadow government. That was not supposed to happen.
Just take that down.
Here, you take care of that. I'm gonna find this video here. Found it. It's another reference from TikTok. We're gonna get it set up right up here.
Source.
TikTok is the most reliable source known to man. You can find anything there. Here we go.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern.
Imagine a technology that can do 600 to 700 G-forces, that can fly at 13,000 miles an hour, that it can evade radar, and that can fly through air and water and possibly space. And oh, by the way, has no obvious signs of propulsion, no wings, no control surfaces, and yet still can defy the natural effects of Earth's gravity. That's precisely what we're seeing. The government has already stated for the record that they're real. I'm not telling you that. The United States government is telling you that.
These vehicles seem to have unlimited loiter time, which we don't have. Then the acceleration is far beyond anything that we're capable of.
Well, I don't believe they're coming from foreign adversaries. If they were, why, that would suggest that they have a technology which is in a whole different sphere than anything we understand. And frankly, China and Russia just aren't there.
Do we have any sensors underwater to detect on submerged UAPs? Anything that is in the ocean or in the seas?
So I think that would be more appropriately addressed in closed session, sir.
Now, I know what you've seen is what those Navy pilots saw in 2004, and there have been some 300 sightings since then. And I've talked to those pilots, and they know they saw something, and their radar's locked onto it. And then all of a sudden it was here on the surface, and then it's there. And they don't know what it is, and we don't know what it is.
Lieutenant Graves told us pilots training off the Atlantic coast see things like that all the time.
Every day. Every day for at least a couple of years.
Wait a minute, every day for a couple of years?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the phenomena we're going to be seeing continues to be unexplained and might in fact be some type of phenomenon that is the result of something that we don't yet understand and that could involve some type of activity that some might say constitutes a different form of life.
And the main issues that Congress and others have been concerned about are basically safety of flight concerns and counterintelligence issues. But of course, there's always the question of...
So this is a pretty long video, so we don't need to watch the whole thing, but like with all these notable figures and all these people coming out on live TV, why is the government not commenting? Why can't they just come out? Like, there's just so much evidence, undeniable evidence. I mean, yes, a lot of it's fake. I will not lie. I've seen some pretty fake ones, but there's still so much that's undeniable. Why they should just come forward at this point. There's no reason to keep hiding it.
It's not time yet. It's not time for the public to know. The government's not ready to take over yet. It needs time. So that's probably why they're not outright saying it. But pilots seeing it every day for a couple of years and no one's come out about it.
Yeah. But still, I think hiding this from the public is still. I mean, every year there's something new that's going on that divides the world, but I think out of all things, this would be the one thing that could honestly unite people across the world. So I personally don't see why they would keep trying to cover this up and hide it. Like, everyone knows Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even deny that at this point. Area 51, all that. There's no point to cover it up anymore. I personally think that if Congress keeps pushing towards this, they can get the public answers. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
The public's not ready. There's just too many people who aren't ready to see their religion, everything they've known about life, just be shattered in one.
That is a pretty controversial opinion, but I mean, I do agree. If that would probably be a consequence.
Think about our favorite cult leader and his following.
Cult leader, huh?
If the government came out today, BC came out today and said, yeah, aliens exist. God was a sham.
Yeah, I know if BC came to me and said that, especially because he's just so new, I'd be like, what?
If the sergeant major there was like, aliens exist, deal with it. So many people would be like, just dumbfounded.
You know, it is weird to think about that, even here where we are, that people above us, there's a chance they might know a thing or two about this sort of thing.
Maybe.
But we don't know. We're just kind of here. It's under our noses. But I think with the amount of evidence, it is undeniable. Like, even the people who don't believe in this sort of thing, the people who are skeptical about it, there's no way they can deny that there is something else out there.
Mathematically, there has to be.
Exactly. There is no way there's not. If the space goes on infinitely, there's infinite possibilities for there to be life. Like, there's even a couple moons of, I think, Jupiter that are frozen, and supposedly they've theorized that there's frozen some sort of biological organisms.
Subnautica style?
So maybe not Subnautica style. I mean, that'd be pretty scary. I don't know if I could handle that sort of thing.
I get what you're saying, like germs and extraterrestrial germs and microorganisms frozen in the permafrost.
Yep. Some even say that life on Earth came from a comet from outer space, from some other
That would make
place.
sense. That would make a lot of sense.
It would make sense.
Little wormy germies
coming in.
Crashed on this brand new planet. It's just
Little did the aliens know that now we're wasting our time while we're playing Fortnite.
I love Fortnite.
You would love Fortnite. But I don't know. It's just like here. There's even more right here that I bet I could find.
While he's looking for that, what would you do if you had a little alien pet?
A little alien
pug, little alien Pomeranian, little alien cat.
A little alien cat, huh? I don't know. When I think of an alien cat, I think of the thing from Captain Marvel that had the fucking tentacles coming out of its mouth, eating everyone.
I've never seen that movie.
That's impossible.
Captain Marvel?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. I don't watch movies with female leads.
I'm gonna make sure he watches it tonight. But here's something else. It's also from Las Vegas. I don't know why LA is the home of aliens, but
Las Vegas isn't in LA. It's in Nevada.
I'm fucking retarded. I'm sorry.
What is that, yo? Yo, what the? Is that? Yo. Oh shit, what the fuck was that, yo? What the fuck? Yo, did you get that? Get that on film. Get that on film. What the fuck?
Like, I have. Oh shoot! I lost everything. I have loads of stuff saved right here of evidence.
That doesn't look like evidence.
Okay, my bad. I accidentally got out of my bookmarks there.
All right, we can show that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Don't flag us, Twitch or YouTube, please.
Let's see here. It's this one. Like, look at this. This is the one from the phone call we watched earlier. It's like it's splitting up right here.
Escape pods?
Yeah, it might be escape pods. Some could say that could be like
meteorite,
lens flare, all that sort of stuff.
That's
but
too pretty to be a lens flare.
What else we got here?
Show him the corn dog.
That's not alien footage.
It could be.
We cannot show that one. So I also saw an interesting video last night talking about how nuclear weapons could be what attracted all this extraterrestrial attention back in the 40s and 50s.
Cuban Missile Crisis and such.
No, it was when we dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And when we were doing all the nuclear testing. Some said, well, I have a video of it right here, explaining it better than what I could because I'm not good with this sort of stuff.
Huge mistake in the relationship between humans and these other civilizations. And here I want to put a button on this. When we detonated the first atomic bomb and the subsequent ones, when those go off, everybody knows what an electromagnetic pulse is. What they don't know is that there's an attending so-called scalar or longitudinal wave that is faster than the speed of light that disrupts the fabric and communication and propulsion guidance systems of extraterrestrial vehicles. This is why they came in huge force in the 40s and 50s. And this is why every single atomic and nuclear weapon storage facility, processing plant and base and ship has been surveilled by these ET vehicles, because when those things are used, it's like tearing the fabric of space-time. Huge mistake in the.
Going off that, like, I still think the government, there's no reason to deny it anymore. There's just so much evidence against them that this David Grush thing should just bring it all out to light. Like, there's no reason to keep hiding it when we have all these videos, phone calls, and all these supposed alien abductions. It's just, I don't think there's a reason to keep hiding it anymore. I think even if there's not ever going to be a time the world is going to be ready. There's never going to be a time that the world's ready to accept the fact that we're not the only ones and maybe everything we've been taught is a lie.
And maybe we'll never be ready. And maybe the government will never tell us. There's really nothing we can do about that. The government's going to decide when we're ready.
Which I do not agree with.
I don't either.
It's not how our nation was built. I don't know. There's no reason why they shouldn't come out about it. I personally think this case will make it through Congress one day and we'll get the answers we're looking for, but
maybe when we're like 60 and dying.
And I'll still be like, I told you so.
Let's get back to the fact that whatever this scientist guy said, nuclear bombs just rip through space and time.
Like, nuclear bombs, those are weapons of mass destruction. They're even talking about remember Fallout?
Yeah.
Was it nuclear fusion that they used to power?
Yeah.
They're getting close to it. I think if we get to that point, that probably, yeah.
I think once we get to that point in technology that everything's nuclear powered, then we'll be ready.
I personally don't think we'll be ready still, because humanity is a ticking time bomb. Me, that's what I personally think. It's only a certain amount of time before we implode on ourselves again and we have another world war or let's not get political here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just we're never going to be ready, but I think it needs to happen. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You just got to do it. You can't not do it. But I do have some more stuff here. So the next thing I'm about to show you is supposedly an alien interview that's supposedly real. I don't know. It looks a little weird, but hey, man, aliens, dude. I'm gonna show it up here. I put a lot of time into finding all these, so you guys should.
So here it is. This is, again, it's silence. There's no audio on this. What are we looking at here as we play this film? What are we seeing on our screen, John?
Contrary to Victor's voiceover, this is a film shot April of 1991, a thought projection interview of a other gray, designated an other gray, an extraterrestrial biological entity. He is a haploid, which means he came with only one sexual chromosome. Human beings are diploids. For any microbiologists out there, if I'm hatcheting those words, I'm sorry. But this being had only one sexual chromosome. He came to the S2 alpha, the official designation of the underground facility that housed the alien interrogation and retention program. That's the unofficial name of what this was. They call these interview suites the ambassador suites because the government did try for the care and did treat these and look at these beings and still do as ambassadors from other planets and other dimensions. And if you hear David Grush coughing on his words, it's because he doesn't want to tell you that some of these beings are from other dimensions. And so this being was very ill. Certainly looks like the outline of him. It looks like an African-American male in his 50s wearing an Army Class A dress uniform. Funny, the Rear Admiral that was on my list was the person that.
So that video mentioned David Grush again saying about how he doesn't want to completely come out about this sort of thing. But with that video, I honestly couldn't say if it's real or not. I couldn't tell. It looks too old.
It looks fake.
It
phony,
does. It
baloney.
does. It honestly does.
But that guy, the extra, what did he say? Dimensional?
Interdimensional.
That's just a whole nother can of worms. We can't open.
That's a whole nother episode of.
But even if that video was real, there's no way to prove it.
Yeah, we
can go out and buy a fake Halloween alien prop. In fact, we might do that.
That's next episode right there.
And we'll film our own alien
interrogation.
Yeah, interrogation. Vaporeon style. If you will.
Oh,
those
man.
of you get that.
You're a lot to handle for me, you know. You're a lot for me to handle.
You like boys?
I'm straight. I'm sorry, guys. I'm straight. There's nothing I can do about that.
Show them the corn dog.
Oh, we're gonna show you the corn. So we have the next piece of evidence right here. We have is completely 100% undeniable,
unrefutable.
So I got this from I can't say who he is, but he emailed me this, and I think it's undeniable. This is game changing.
Game changing.
So if we're not live streaming next week,
it's because we've been murked by the shadow government.
So I got you guys. See clearly, that is a UFO over the ocean. And it's like Glizzy shape. Oh, it looks like the Tic Tac. That is the Tic Tac UFO. Mach 1000. All parsecs. Undeniable evidence. Oh god.
Oops. Do you have anything else to say on the subject matter of aliens for this episode?
Honestly, all I can say is
final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Oops,
lightning round. if you will. Do you believe in aliens?
I 100% do.
As do I. Mathematically, it's impossible for them not to exist.
With all the between NASA shutting down streams because something falls in and they're like, oh, it's space junk, but they shut down an entire stream.
Like what was it called? That black thing, the Black Knight.
I can't remember.
Every time it came into focus or like
shut it down.
They shut down the stream. I remember that.
What's
that?
that?
Back when I was in high school.
Oh, it's not really aliens, but what's that one movie on Netflix that took the world by storm about the meteor?
Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up.
With Steve Carell.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
It's a great movie, but unless we have an event like that, but with aliens, the world's going to remain divided, is what I think. I think the government needs to come out about it. I think Congress will be successful. It might not be for a while, but with the sheer amount of evidence, and because of this David Grush, more people are going to come out about it. Like that's undeniable. There's going to be more. So me personally, the world's never going to be ready. So if that's the government's concern, or if it's for the military, which is more than likely is what it is, I think they need to come out about it. I think it'll be successful. There's too much evidence. I mean, some of it you can't be confirmed, but the amount of confirmed evidence from NASA, the government, it's undeniable at this point. I don't know about you, but I think it has to come out.
What if we're wrong and aliens never existed?
I think that would also be a big eye opener, because I think for the longest time everyone's believed there was something else out there. So for some reason we had the evidence to say that we are somehow the only life in the universe.
That'd be lonely.
That would be lonely, but it's the universe. The universe, if the universe is infinite, it's infinite possibilities. So there could be that chance. But
do you think one day we'll conquer the stars, as man does conquer?
I think by ourselves, no. If we're doing what David Grush is saying, when we're re-engineering alien vehicles, getting help as they say we have in the past, yes, I think we could. Near future, I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime.
There's a chance, because they're already trying to land on Mars, but that's still a long ways away from maybe traveling from solar system. Our
spawns, and their grandkids, great grandkids. One day, maybe we'll see like an ODST Spartan Halo event. We'll go out, murk some aliens, conquer the galaxy, as humans do. We perfected warfare.
Yep, that's true. Humans just want more. That's all. We're greedy. We want more, and we want more. Yeah, we really are just animals. But I don't know. I think if this does make it through Congress and comes out, it's going to be a real eye opener. I think religions in itself will be.
I think they'll adapt.
I think
they'll be like, this was part of God's plan.
They'll adapt, or some of them might
crumble,
vanish. They might go away. But who's to tell? Honestly, what else? Any last thoughts you have, or
would you?
I know where you're gonna get at. I know where you're going with this one. You might as well just say it. I don't want to say it.
Would you diddle an alien?
I like humans.
I mean,
I think if we can't even confirm aliens, I think we're a long way away from that.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
That'll be on our Patreon right there.
Patreon.
Yeah,
it's not set up yet, but
doesn't exist. Oh yeah, we're in the merch today.
The merch. Show them the back. We got the last Last Brain Cell podcast merch. I mean, this is the prototype, obviously.
Yeah. We understand we're not very big yet, but
the prototype. We'll get more out. We'll get mouse pads. We're working out. There's a lot of things in the works. This is the first episode, and I think we did pretty good.
Not too bad. It was a little shaky at some spots, but that's just part of the process. We'll get better at it.
So if you want to see more of the Last Brain Cell podcast, follow us on TikTok. What is it?
Our TikTok is the Last Brain Cell Podcast Official, and we're also on Instagram. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We'll get a Twitter
It's all the same. Twitter's just porn at this point.
Yeah, let's be honest. Twitter, Put us on downhill.
If you want to see more of us, just keep watching us. We're gonna do our best. And yeah.
We apologize for how long it took us.
Yes, I know we said the first episode was gonna come out like 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
I personally lost all motivation to do it. Diaz was really excited for it.
Yeah, I've been trying to get this guy over here to do it for a while, but at the same time.
But we finally have content now. We know what we're doing. We got pretty doo-doo. We got doo-doo equipment.
Yeah, as you could tell, our camera's kind of donkey balls. We're gonna upgrade it, I promise.
Eventually.
And I apologize for the lighting too. I would make it better, but this camera is kind of sucky, so there's a bunch of glare. But we'll upgrade our equipment eventually.
We'll save the videos. Watch all the clips on TikTok.
Instagram. We'll upload them to Spotify.
We're gonna get guests. We have guests lined up.
We have plenty of good episodes in the future. Some more fun ones. This was just a good, easy one to start with.
And TikTok made it for us.
Yeah.
We have a whole smorgasbord of content for your hungry little eyes. And anything else you want to say?
And for people who are just listening.
Yeah.
This ain't no Joe Rogan podcast, but we'll get there one day.
Hopefully.
But if you guys have any questions, we'll be here for a couple minutes. Any questions for us? Lives, secrets. Love life.
How do we tell where the questions come from?
It should say on here.
How do we know if anyone's watching?
I guess we'll never know.
Huh?
No, it says right here. It's all right. Only one person. I'm not disappointed.
We got one person.
We got one person. And I probably know who it is.
First one. Once we get the merch out,
you'll get the first free batch.
Free batch. Ask us a question right now. Confirm your thing.
Let's go see if I can.
Oh, it's a bot.
That's not a bot. I would cry a little bit, honestly.
I mean, we'll put up clips of us. The funny parts on TikTok.
Funny parts. Would you diddle an alien? You like boys?
I would diddle an alien.
I know you would. I'm gonna stick with my race, my human species.
Imagine what a human alien would look like.
That's a whole nother episode right there. Human alien hybrids. Oh man. Not bad first episode.
Finally did it. We finally did it.
Took a while, but we finally got there.
And if you want to wonder where this really cool shirt came from, Mishka.com. They're my sponsors.
Unofficial sponsors. No. Forget to mention this man right here was part of the Mishka.
I was.
Show me your tattoo.
I got the Mandalorian tattoo.
The other tattoo.
I can't. It's on the other side. It's the eyeball, you know.
The Mishka eyeball. Not a bad first episode.
Not a bad first
Shaky episode. At first, but we'll get better at it. Make our setup a little less alien. We'll make it more alien proof so stuff doesn't fall down.
It's true.
The Yeezys didn't get destroyed.
That's true.
That's what matters ultimately at the end of the day. But let's check here.
Still one viewer?
Yep.
All right.
I honestly call that a win.
Thank you for watching our one viewer. It was pretty. This was our first episode.
An experiment, really.
The pilot, if you will.
The pilot episode.
Once we come out with episode 2, we'll be a little bit more ready.
Episode 2. What should we do? What are we thinking for that one?
You guys like Hey Arnold?
Oh.
We'll do a Hey Arnold episode. How does that sound?
Thought we were doing the golf episode.
We got to buy some golf clubs first.
I mean, we don't need golf clubs. We can go to the PX, buy some kiddie golf clubs.
I also don't know how to golf.
All right, next episode, teaching Dusty how to golf.
That's a good one. All right.
Some very good clips in that one.
This has been the Last Brain Cell podcast.
I'd like to thank you guys for watching. When we upload this, I'd like to thank you guys for listening as well. It means a lot. This is a bit of a project me and my friend here thought of a while ago.
Yes.
And we're finally doing it. It might take a while.
We're going to be very inconsistent, by the way.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm going to keep you on your toes from now on. We're going to get this going. Our upload schedule, what are we thinking? Saturday? Friday?
We'll shoot for every Saturday. Hopefully.
Say for Saturday is a good time.
We're very busy with our job sometimes, so there might be a couple.
Yeah, so the next few months there might be our upload schedule might be a little inconsistent, but during that time we will get better equipment. Camera first to start,
and microphones.
Microphones.
I don't know if my hello. Can you hear me?
I know mine works.
I don't know if mine works,
but these are sensitive. So
I've been your host, Dusty Harry.
I've been your co-host, Mason Diaz.
And this is the Last Brain Cell podcast. Keep huffing that paint, keep sniffing that glue, and by God, keep listening to us.
I
see you next time.
will not recommend you doing that.
Shut it off.